Hello, everyone, and this is NickoAdventures, and today we're going to be talking about two manga and two anime that have been keeping me very entertained during this quarantine, and I think it might be able to help you get over your boredom as well. And the first one we are going to go into is called, or at least I call it, Aromakun. Basically, it's about there's this kid who lives a very bad life, always having to work. That money is used to try and get by. The reason he's doing this is because his family, his parents specifically, don't really care about him. They take all his money, so he has to work very hard, odd jobs. And you could even see him at some points living in the wilderness with a tent trying to get by. And at one point, he's working a tuna fish job on a ship, I believe, and one of the frozen fish falls off and is about to crush him, and a demon shows up, and he's pretty surprised, but the demon takes him, tells him that his parents sold him off to him, and Aroma thinks he's gonna die. Obviously, it's like a demon just came in out of nowhere saying I've been sold off by my parents, I'm gonna have my fucking soul ripped out. So he's freaking the hell out. But then the demon tells him, I stole you because I just want a grandchild, because all my other friends have grandchildren and they always brag about them, and I'm getting pretty tired of that. So, Iruma's like, well, you know what? That's better than dying. Alright, I'll do it. And the rest of the story is about him trying to kind of stay under the radar as his grandpa takes care of him, puts him to a demon school, and of course, a story where the protagonist wants to stay under the radar. They're gonna put him in situations where his popularity just grows and he begins to gain more friends and things like that. The thing about this manga that I really like is that he's weak. Yes, from the beginning, many protagonists are weak at the beginning, but the way he handles certain situations and the way he goes about his life is pretty unique in the sense that he's not afraid to act like he's weak. And if I could put that into words, it's more like he knows he's weak, he acts like he's weak, but when he needs to really prove himself, it's not some kind of like I found it within kind of thing, it's more like you get to see him go out there and train for something, and he really tries to work at it, and he's really bad at first, and he's probably really bad until the end too, if I remember correctly. But he's just able to pull it off with something his grandfather gave him. So there's that, and he knows that he's still very weak, and he's gonna keep trying to do things to make himself stronger, while still trying to be under the radar. And of course, more wacky things happen that people start to notice him more. And honestly, it's a pretty good read. As far as I know, it's up to chapter 103. The latest chapter is getting pretty hyped, to be honest. There's about to be some kind of battle festival, so I'm really looking forward to that. Out of a rating system of 5 stars, I give it 4 stars at the moment. I won't give it 5 just in case something else inside it starts to disappoint me. But when it's definitely over, I'll review it again and tell you if it keeps 4, gets 5 stars, or goes lower. The next manga I want to talk about is known as Kimetsu no Yaiba, otherwise known as Demon Slayer, and that has gotten an anime recently, which is very hype, very well done animation. The voice acting was on point too. It was everything I could have asked for. And it seems like this manga is about to finish up, like it's towards the end. I'm not really sure if it is gonna finish up, but if it's not, I'm not sure where the story's going anymore after that. Yeah, this story not only has the action that's over the top, crazy fighting, not gonna give up type of juicy shonen fighting. There's also good character development in it, a variety of character personalities that mesh and mingle with each other, and you can definitely see how when one person does something, that it affects other characters, and that's what I really like. I like when the story really starts to connect to each other in ways that a lot of people don't like to build on top of. They like it to be like a straight line, but this one has multiple lines converging at the same point, and I think that's very incredible to do. Moving away from the story, the art of the manga is just beautiful. I'm very flabbergasted when I see a fight scene in here. So dynamic. Even them just talking, you can just appreciate the art design on each character and the detail that goes into it. And overall, I think this would be a really good read if you're looking for something to hype you up, keep you on your toes, really keep you excited during this quarantine, which is something that's hard to deal with, I know. I'm gonna switch over to talking about the anime that I've been enjoying so far. The first one is My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom. So basically, this is a summary. 8-year-old Katarina Claus is the only daughter of a duke, living her life peacefully and without incident until she hits her head on a rock, and then remembers that she is not actually the duke's daughter. She used to be an otaku who died on her way to school after spending the previous night playing Fortunate Lover, her favorite Otomi game. After noticing that her current surroundings seem oddly familiar, she is shocked to discover that she has been reincarnated into the world of Fortune Lover as the villainess. The villainess in this game usually winds up dead or exiled, so Katarina decides to use her knowledge of the game and its routes to avoid any bad situations. But is it even possible for the villainess to reach a good ending? So, I remember seeing this when the trailer came out a little while ago, and even then I could tell that it was gonna be a little different than normal isekai anime, so I was excited. And the first episode did not disappoint. You couldn't really tell if she had been isekai at first. It started off as a little girl, and you were like, wow, okay, let's see how this goes. She hits her head, like the summary says, and her memories come back. And the way she plays out this character as she remembers her past life is very entertaining. And she goes on to talk about how she doesn't like being a noble, how she wishes she could just be lazy as an otaku again, and all those things that we love. She also starts to see that she is the villainess, and that anything she does will either kill her or get her exiled. So she starts to freak out a bit, and you get to go inside her head, and there's like a council of her, each giving up their own ideas to say how to save her, and they ultimately decide that they need to start training in case they either get attacked or exiled, so they can survive and live in a new area. And more ideas from the council come along as more aspects of the game start to show themselves, and as she tries to make people not believe she is a villainess. And it becomes a really wacky adventure like that. Very, very good. The animation is, it's pretty standard, but it's still joy to watch. It's the plot and the acting that really make this anime stand out for me. All I can really say about this one is give it a chance. There's like 3 or 4 episodes out at the moment. Very easy to catch up on, and I'm excited to see where this goes. This next anime I'm going to talk about is actually a movie, and it's called Hello World. And this film centers around Naomi Katagaki, a male high school student. One day, a person who calls himself Naomi 10 years from now appears in front of young Naomi. Together they must change the future and save a classmate, Ruri, whom the younger Naomi starts to date in 3 months. So it's a very basic summary. Not too much is told about the story at this moment. So I decided to watch it because I had also seen the trailer for this, and I was interested. The trailer didn't tell me too much about what everything was or the plot. I was pleasantly surprised by it though, for the fact that it handles the story very well. It doesn't tell you too much at the beginning, so you think one thing is happening. You know, it's one of those stories where there's twists and turns in it. I couldn't tell what the next twist was gonna be as I was watching it, which is something very, very nice to have. Not be like, oh, I know this exactly is gonna happen next because it's so obvious. This one, nothing was very obvious. The love story was also pretty nice too. I'm a very big sucker for romance stories, romance comedies, things like that. So it was very nice to have something that was a very good romance story. The action inside the anime, there wasn't too much action at the beginning. The ending had most of the action, but it was still pretty good visually, just animated very well. It was exciting. It really pulled me into it. Really got me immersed in watching it. And the plot got a little confusing towards the middle endish part, but it started to get clear as I continued to watch, so there's no real complaint there. It clears it up very soon. Overall, it was a very, very great movie. I would recommend watching it. I've watched it 3 more times actually. It was so good. And I'd recommend this to anybody in any age group, to be honest. It's fun for the whole family. I really hope you enjoyed listening to my recommendations. I wouldn't say that my recommendations are the best or superior in any way. They're just my own personal opinions and what I like, but I feel like my opinions are pretty generalized in terms of anime appreciation, so they should be able to they should be something that everybody would enjoy. Other than that, thank you for watching. This was just something to help people who are bored in quarantine. I will go back to making videos of anime and only reviewing one at a time, so I can go more in depth with them. And I hope you guys have a great day and look forward to the next video. There will be more frequent uploads soon. Bye!